places of unparalleled scenic beauty. Thanks to a group of concerned citizens, the Bahamas National Trust was formed and established through an act of Parliament, thereby preserving the natural beauty of these islands. It all started in the early 1950s on the island of Great Inagua, when two brothers, Jimmy and Sam Nixon, showed a visiting conservationist the island's dwindling population of flamingos. When they started, there were only 5,000 birds left. With the support of conservationists, the brothers helped form the Society for the Protection of Flamingos and eventually the Inagua National Park. The first national park to be created was the Exuma Land and Sea Park. The Exumas are a yachtsman's paradise. In the 1980s, citizens became concerned about the park's declining marine resources due to uncontrolled fishing. Since enforcing a no-take policy in 1986, the Bahamas National Trust has seen the fisheries come back. And now it's once again a haven for divers, yachtsmen, and visitors from all over the world. However, more pressure is being placed on these marine resources. As fish stocks dwindle in other parts of the Bahamas, protecting the marine resources from poachers within the park is important so they can breed and restock the ocean. More than 3/4 of the Bahamas population live on New Providence Island, making it the most densely populated island in the wider Caribbean region. The Bahamas National Trust is undertaking an ambitious campaign to expand its facilities and the parks on New Providence. Eric Carey, the Trust's executive director, explains.
Our goal is to develop these parks into places where Bahamians can bring their families to enjoy nature. We want to provide Bahamians the opportunity to take their families bird watching, kayaking along boardwalks at Harold and Wilson's Pond and Bonefish Pond National Parks and witness the unique nature of the Bahamian natural environment.
One success is that the Bahamas National Trust began a nature program for Bahamas youth called the Discovery Club.
One of the most important values that I've learned from being in the Discovery Club is that it's our responsibility to take care of the environment and that we must take steps to help and protect it.
Conservationists have worked with the Bahamas government to create 25 national parks covering over 700,000 acres of land and sea. These parks span from Walker's Key, Grand Bahama, Abaco, New Providence, Andros, Exumas, Conception Island, Crooked Island, and Little and Great Inagua. While the government of the Bahamas provides considerable funding support for the national park system, the Trust still needs additional funds to acquire more patrol boats, develop better facilities, create educational programs, and hire additional staff. The Bahamas National Trust must depend mainly on private donations to continue protecting these national treasures. If you wish to see these pristine parks treated with the respect and protection they deserve for your children and their children, then please support the Bahamas National Trust.
as long as we've been a country, these islands have been a favorite for royalty. And for as long as the royals have adored us as a people, we've always been hospitable and gracious hosts. From a colony to a nation, now on the cusp of its golden anniversary, these shores have celebrated royal visits with class and dignity that is wholly Bahamian. As Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, leaders in the industrial sector talking growth and expansion. Also, migrants rescued at sea. And social workers applauding the establishment of a social workers association. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Jamila Mizik. Thank you so much for joining us. Leaders in the industry speaking candidly about the changes they're hoping will take place to enhance the industrial sector on Grants Bahama. A panel discussion taking place yesterday under the theme Growing the Industrial Sector, Removing Barriers, Restoring Incentives, Refurbishing Infrastructure during the 23rd Annual Grants Bahama Business Outlook. Here's that story. Industrial groups are the backbone and glue that is holding Grants Bahama's economy together. That statement coming from CEO of Pharmachem Technologies, Randy Thompson, during the 2022 Grants Bahama Business Outlook.
The industrial group ought to be commended for weathering the storms and the pandemic and having minimum interruption and impact to our employees and customers. So in the industrial area, we heavily focus on safety and preparation. And so any disaster that come our way, really and truly, we are primarily prepared. Just like Dave spoke about the protocols, procedures that we all have in place, we execute those based on, again, all of our training and preparation.
Also a part of the panel discussion was CEO of Grants Bahama Shipyard, David Scantleberry, expressing that operating in Grants Bahama does have its challenges, especially due to the impact of natural disasters.
For our biggest part of our business, which is the repairing cruise ships, they need, just for crew and contractors, that they need a good airlift capability. So the airport at the moment is a barrier. As a large industrial, we're always very concerned about the hospital facilities on the island and their adequacy. God forbid, should there be a major incident. And then I think the other one with the infrastructure, which is worrying or concerning me now, and we have to do work, is we are planning on getting new docks. These docks will be amongst the biggest in the world, and they will take the largest cruise ships in the world. But one of the issues is going to be, and we're seeing it already, is going to be fresh water.
Thompson says the industrial group wants to have more consultative opportunities with the government and the Grants Bahama Port Authority before laws and regulations are enacted.
We want them to understand the industrial sector and how the laws would impact our businesses, and would like opportunity to have a seat at the table, at least to listen and to hear and to give advice. And so that could become challenging at times when laws are imposed and they don't necessarily relate to the industrial group.
And Scantleberry says he believes for the industry to survive in Grants Bahama, there needs to be some form of special economic zone in place.
The governments need to start thinking about what happens in the future. Is it going to be renewed? Is there something different that can be put in to ensure that the industries that are here now thrive, and more importantly, more industry comes in and grows on the island. So I think, no, we have not done any specific planning on the end of but, I think industry and government start needing to get their heads around it because, for instance, the development we're looking at, if we bring in 2 new dry docks, they're here for 40 or 50 years. So it's a good question, so we do need some certainty as to what's going to happen in the future.
Now also addressing the GB Business Outlook was President of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, James Carey. Carey noting that the Chamber is committed to engaging at every level with both the private sector and the government for the advancement of a robust business community in Grand Bahama.
We need to address the ease of doing business and any obstacles that may be an impediment to doing so. My board and I are committed to working with government, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, and members of the private sector on issues relative to the growth of our island's economy. We are committed to advancing through advocacy the concerns of our members and, by extension, the wider business community. We will work to ensure economic stability, help businesses to grow and become profitable.
He says the Chamber will continue to prioritize the needs of small businesses.
We will provide valuable services, including business consultation at our help desk, mentoring for small businesses, networking opportunities through social and business meetings, and participation in business exposures wherever practical.
The University of the Bahamas announcing the appointment of Dr. Ian Strawn to the position of Executive Vice President effective the 1st of April 2022. Dr. Strawn retains his position as President of the UB North Campus in Grand Bahama. The position of Executive Vice President is vitally important in the university system. It is enshrined in the University of the Bahamas Act as an officer of the institution and serves a critical role in maximizing operational performance and maintaining continuity. In the absence of the president or during a vacancy in the office of the president, the executive vice president is the most senior officer who, with the board's authorization, functions as the president. Leader of UB North is equally as important as the role of the EVP. Dr. Strawn has been leading the university community in Grand Bahama, working with resilient faculty, staff, and students to create opportunity out of great adversity. In September 2019, Hurricane Dorian severely damaged the university's campus in East Grand Bahama, displacing the entire community. Less than a month later, operations resumed in temporary accommodations in Freeport. Earlier this month, UB acquired the Kipling Complex in Freeport, Grand Bahama as the site for the future UB North Campus. The campus will become the hub for UB's science, technology, engineering, and math STEM programs and collaborations with partners to spark entrepreneurship and innovation. Meanwhile, the Advisory Committee for National Honors inviting nominations from suitably qualified persons to be conferred with an award under the National Honors Act 2016. The categories are Order of National Hero, Order of Nation, Order of the Bahamas, Order of Excellence, Order of Distinction, Order of Merit, Order of Lignum Vitae, and any other honor constituted by the Governor General by order. In addition to the above regulations made under the National Honors Act 2016, other awards include Distinguished Service Medals for citizens of the Bahamas in recognition of exceptional service in public service or the civil society, or Badge of Honor for persons in the civil society who perform exceptional service to the Bahamas, and medals for bravery. Nomination forms may be obtained from the Cabinet Office in New Providence, the Office of the Administrator in all districts of the Family Islands, and via the Government of the Bahamas website, www.bahamas.gov.bs. Completed nomination forms containing all of the pertinent information of the nominee must be submitted to the Secretary of the National Honor Secretariat, Cabinet Office, no later than the 8th of April 2022 in order to enable the Advisory Committee to consider nominations and make recommendations nominations for awards. Successful candidates will be announced on the 10th of July, 2022. In other news, a group of migrants rescued on the high seas after their vessel overturned. The migrants traveled thousands of miles to the Bahamas, apparently with the goal of being smuggled into the United States. As we hear in this report, the migrants were...
After 4:30 p.m., when Basra Rescue received information that there were several persons floating nearly 5 miles off the coast of West End whose boat had overturned. Captain Devon Archer says a vessel en route to Grand Bahama happened to be in the area and was able to rescue the individuals and bring them to shore, but they could not speak English.
So we worked to get a Russian translator on standby for when the sea tow vessel approaches Freeport Harbor and turns them over. Once we got the translator, we went down to the harbor, Freeport Harbor, and we met the vessel with turned out to be 7 persons on board. It was 2 males, 3 females, and 2 young children. It was good to see that they were in life jackets.
Archer says had it not been for the vessel en route to Grand Bahama, the situation could be a lot worse.
As of this morning, the 18th of March, one of our rescue crew has already departed the West End, and he's out there looking for the sunken boat, as well as he's reported that he found a life raft. I'm not sure if this life raft is connected with yesterday's 7-person rescue. That's something we're digging into. The life raft apparently has not been in the water for too long. There's no buildup on it. So he's bringing the life raft back. All of the medical equipment and everything in the life raft have been untouched. Once we find the vessel, then we can dive it and get a better understanding of exactly what is on board, who all was on board. If there's any documentation, we turn over to the authorities. And we just hope for the best, providing they find that boat.
Now, there were reports that the 7 individuals were Russians attempting to flee to America, but Archer says that information is false.
They did speak Russian, but digging a little deeper, they seem to be Georgians. So when we were told that they were Russians, we got the translator down there, and the translator was able to communicate, because my first question was, is there anybody else that we should be looking for? Is all persons accounted for? She was able to translate that and get a response, no, this is everything.
Archer says that it was a smuggling operation, and the owner of the boat is more than likely a Bahamian.
You try not to think this way, but if it's smuggling, it's more than likely a local captain. It's not. He said he was the captain, he was driving the boat, and he was trying to get him and his family to the U.S. So our question is, once we find this boat, then we can determine where the boat came from, because they apparently, what I was told, they flew into the country, which means they would have gone through the proper channels of clearing customs and immigration. And immigration, I think, is aware of who they are.
Investigations are now ongoing to find out who the vessel belonged to. As for Basra, Archer says they have been extremely busy with rescues for the year.
Persons breaking down and drifting and missing. We've been successful, except for the very few smuggling operations, to which the police force and U.S. Coast Guard, ourselves, and Defense Force have all worked hand in hand in trying to find them.
Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
An additional 7 illegal migrants taken into custody here on Grand Bahama. A combined team of law enforcement officers from the Marine Unit, Southwestern Division, and the Immigration Department, while armed with a search warrant last night, went to a resort in East End where they searched a number of rooms and discovered a Romanian male, 3 Ecuadorian males, 3 Ecuadorian females, and an Ecuadorian child. Further investigations revealed that the group had overstayed their time in in the Bahamas. All were arrested and taken into custody of immigration officers. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.
Come on down. Come on down now.
Are you looking for a convenient way to have your blood work done? Well, look no further. Phlebotomy on the Go is here to serve you with their professional lab technician in phlebotomy. Call us at 242-533-0659. We're here to serve you.
The Ministry of Health is working to ensure the safety of the Bahamian people. Help us minimize the risk that coronavirus poses to citizens, residents, and visitors by following these 5 easy steps. Step 1. Wet your hands with clean water. Apply soap and lather for 20 seconds by rubbing them together. Include the top of your hands between your fingers and under your fingernails. Rinse your hands under clean water, then dry them with a paper towel or air dry them. Remember to wash your hands before and after eating, preparing a meal, changing a diaper, or caring for the sick, and always after using the bathroom, touching money, shaking hands, or taking out the trash. Step 2. Cough and sneeze in your elbow or upper sleeve, not in your hands, not in the air. Or you can cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Put your used tissue in the trash bin when you're finished. Remember to wash your hands with soap and clean water after you cough or sneeze. Also, remember never to spit on the ground, roads, or in open spaces. Step 3. Ensure that raw meat is properly handled and cooked thoroughly. Step 4. Avoid sharing drinking glasses, eating utensils like spoons and forks, or sharing personal items such as toothbrushes and towels. Germs can live on surfaces we touch, so wipe and disinfect surfaces where germs can live, and keep your surroundings clean. Step 5. Avoid close contact with anyone showing symptoms of respiratory illness, such as coughing or sneezing. Should you or anyone you know feel that you have been exposed to the coronavirus, contact the surveillance unit of the Ministry of Health immediately. To reach us, call 502-4776, 502-4790, or 502-4737. We want Bahamians and those that live with and visit us to remain safe from the coronavirus. To do this, we need the help of each and every one of you to follow the simple steps we have shared. Let's stay safe, Bahamas.
They're trying to push rich on me. They want to push rich on me. They don't care in front of company.
The King of the North is back. Cowboys 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The month of March is recognized annually as Social Workers Month. Yesterday, social workers gathering to introduce for the first time the Bahamas Social Workers Association that will represent topical issues for those in the field and the community at large. Azure Quant was there.
It's an exciting day here at the Resilience Center as social workers gather for the first time to introduce the Bahamas Social Workers Association. They say that this is only the beginning and the time is now. Assistant professor from the University of the Bahamas, Dr. Andy Lang, says that the organization is official and they can now bargain on behalf of all social workers across the Bahamas, whether employed, retired, or a student. Focusing on the significance of the move, he says social workers touch the lives of many every day.
Social workers continue to play a pivotal role in helping people to adjust and cope, especially as the Bahamas grapples with issues such as economic decline, the aftermath of natural disasters, and the impact of social ills.
Dr. Lang says it is now critical that they host a nationwide election to begin establishing presence in the community as a powerful and formidable force.
It is crucial that we move with great haste to begin addressing many of the issues that have plagued us as a group of social workers, even from before our ratification. These issues pertain to salary disparities, delays in hiring, regularization, title protection, licensure, and the crafting of protocols relating to many of the social ills impacting our country.
Former Deputy Director at the Department of Social Services, Paula Marshall, extending congratulations to the team while giving her views on the importance of the association.
It's important that social workers make it clear to both the government and to the country how important their role is in the outworking of all the government's plans and for the benefit of all the people in the country, because we've played such a vital role that is really not well understood or accepted or given the credit for.
Now they are encouraging all social workers to be a part of the association, as it will be beneficial not only for them, but for the community. From ZNS News, I'm Azure Quant.
Social workers across the island say this is the right time for an association to be formed to protect their interest. They say it is something grand for the profession. Tonight, we have their reactions.
This is a great time. It's Social Workers Month, and so I'm so excited that social workers are finally getting the recognition that they deserve.
Wow, red letter day indeed. This is something that my colleagues and we have been talking about for a while.
I am lost for words. I am elated today because we've worked so hard for this association and now it's finally here.
Minnis and Roel Cooper say that they have been waiting for an association like this for a long time. When asked what can be done to enhance the profession, they had this to say.
Social work now in the Bahamas is looking like a dying profession. And so for me, personally, recruitment, bringing the profession to light. Bringing social work back to our communities, letting persons know that there is help and hope. And social workers are indeed here to bring that help and hope to our community.
This is definitely important because when it is that we would have when I decided to become a social worker, I wanted to be in a profession that helped people and that was respected, and that we are doing our due diligence. So now, hopefully, others will be able to see and we are able to impact our community at a much wider scale.
Now, they say the profession has been overlooked for many years, but they say social workers must unite. In other news, some high school students will soon be afforded the chance to complete their tertiary studies earlier than expected, thanks to a program which will allow the students to begin studying for college while still in high school. We have a report. It is a golden opportunity for high school students to jumpstart their tertiary studies. Principal at Tabernacle Baptist Christian Academy, Ashel Bain, explains.
We have always been in partnership with Aaliyah Pinder, Your Faith. She helps students get scholarships or even just try to help them get off to school, help parents who don't know what they need to do to get their kids off to school. So Aaliyah is in partnership with the College of Biblical Studies, Houston Baptist, and a college also in Indianapolis, Southern Indianapolis. They are providing a free college experience virtually to students from 9th to 12th grade. They can do these classes during school, depending on what the school wants, or they can do it after school.
Now, the courses are accredited and credits are transferable. Bain says basic college courses are being offered.
They can also finish while in high school. They can get their associate degree by, I guess, thinking like 6 credit semesters. And if they finish while they're graduating, getting their high school diploma, they can get their associate's degree as well. And I guess if they work hard enough, they can also work towards getting their bachelor's.
She says there have been students in the past who have participated in similar studies and have done well.
I think the advantages of this is for parents. You don't have to worry about room and board. You don't, of course, you still have to get the books or whatever is needed. And if it's virtual, I believe that it is. The books will be online virtually. And it saves a lot of money. And I know in this time right now, a lot of parents don't have it. I'm sure they could find $275 more than finding $20,000 or $30,000. So it makes it so much more affordable for the parents, and at least the kids are home, you know, so you don't have to worry about room and board. Room and board is more expensive than the actual college classes.
She adds that a team is also in place to assist those students who may be struggling in their courses.
They can actually go online and get help for whatever courses they may be in. If they're doing chemistry and they stuck, they can contact somebody at the college and they would help them with after school help, just like in high school. It's not as difficult or as hard as you may think it is. It's quite simple, quite easy. And I think it's best for students while they're in the mode of studying and teaching, and learning in school, in high school, if they could get the college in there at the same time, then I think they should take advantage of this.
Bain says a number of students have already signed up for the courses and are looking forward to jump-starting their college studies. And now it is time for your Friday evening sports report with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to Sports. We have Team Bahamas competing at the World Indoor Track and Field Championships. We also have a quarter signing that took place today, but let's start this one off with baseball at the YMCA. Legacy Baseball at the YMCA field is back. President of the league, Sonia Knowles, says she's excited to see the kids back on the field.
Moving forward, we're trying to get some games in. The real mission in this is to get more kids to come out and learn how to play the sports of baseball. We allow kids to come out from age 4 to age 16. We allow the girls to come out from 4 years old to age 9, and then at that age, they move over to softball at age 10.
This year's league has quite a number of age groups.
We play on Saturdays from 10 to 12. We have a T-ball team, which is from ages 4 to 6. We have a coach pitch team from age 7 to 8. We have a 9-10 team. We have a 12U, a 14U, and a 16U.
Switching gears now in hoops, former Tabernacle standout basketball player Ramad Dean is home in Freeport, where a college signing ceremony took place at the Tabernacle School. Dean thanked his family, coaches, friends, and mentors at home before making his announcement.
You guys have always been there for me and supported me from day one. I want to thank them for always believing in me and always telling me that I can do it, even though it may seem impossible sometimes to me as a kid. Also, I want to thank the Fisher family, the family who I had back in Canada, for taking me in as their son and brother, making me feel as I was a Fisher too.
And now it was time for the 6'6" forward to make his commitment as to where he would be taking his talents.
The college I've decided to commit to is Fordham University.
And finally, in sports, Team Bahamas' 5-member team is currently in Serbia competing at the World Indoor Track and Field Championships. Shanae Milawibo has advanced to the 400-meter finals in a time of 51.38, which is the third fastest qualifying time. Also, Antonique Strawn took part in the 60-meter dash, where she made the semifinals, but her time of 7.17 seconds, which is a new personal best, was not enough to advance to the finals. And that's a quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. Have a great weekend.
KMW Battery and Tires. Brake installation. Brake parts not included. Labor starts at $40. Open up Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come in today.
Are you tired, overweight, having trouble sticking to your health and fitness goals? Well, look no further. The Fitness Connection has teamed up with Z&S to bring you Health Bites. This and every Thursday, tune in, and we'll make sure you get on track and stay on track with your health and fitness goals. Tune in.
Save the date, March 17th through March 21st. Buy 2, get 1 free at Pandora, Port Lucayo. Over 1,000 styles to choose from at Pandora.
Hello, I am Constable 3399 Alexander Williams of the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division, Grand Bahama. Did you know that in October 2019, amendments were made to the Road Traffic Act? These amendments included such offenses as driving without having in your possession your insurance certificate, which carries a fine of $200, driving while not having in your possession your driver's license, which carries a fine of $40. Driving while using an electronic communication device, which carries a fine of $500. Driving while having an open alcoholic beverage, which also carries a fine of $500. Road safety is all of our responsibility. Join us as we work together to create safer communities.
Breaking news as it happens in the palm of your hands. Download the ZNS app and keep up with your favorite radio stations, breaking news articles, and live coverage wherever you are. The ZNS app, available in the Android and iOS store.
That's what I told her. Bring the winding thing here. This is Rick and Script, so show me emotion. Hey, wind and go down low.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Ginger Mulford Morris, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We appreciate your support. And we want to say a special happy birthday to Captain Eric Turnquest and to Mr. Beirut in New Providence to enjoy. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Jamila Missick. Thank you so much for joining us. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Publicly scolds the opposition for its questionable practices. A UB alumni elevated to its most senior office. An inner-city shooting ends tragically, and World Indoor Track Championships off and running. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Superfast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Well, happy Friday. Good evening. I'm Desmond Saunders. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. The mid-year budget communication passed in Parliament overnight. Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, wrapped up debate using the opportunity to highlight its importance. Fern Curry tells us more.
Minister of Finance and Prime Minister, the Honourable Philip Davis, providing more clarity on the role and purpose of the mid-year budget in wrapping up debate on that document in the House of Assembly Thursday evening. The statement covers the period from July 21st to December 2021 and outlines a snapshot of the government's fiscal performance at the midpoint of the fiscal year.
This year's statement is particularly noteworthy because it is the first time in several years that it is being produced without the constraints of the emergency orders. Given that the previous administration refused to give any credible account of their spending during the past few years, the statement takes on greater import and urgency. The mid-year budget statement is not merely a courtesy. The Bahamian people have a fundamental and legal right to know how their money has been spent.
The Prime Minister said it is regrettable that the opposition had little to say in reply to the numerous questions raised about their fiscal performance during the debate.
They have uttered barely a word in defense of the many questionable practices which were undertaken by their administration, including and especially those of the member of Kalani who acted as the sole competent authority since March 2020. Cheered on with the full support of his team.
The Prime Minister also criticized the procurement bill introduced by the previous administration, suggesting that it was rushed to Parliament.
We're telling them that, look, you need your regulations, the rules, because these provisions require guidance. It requires to have, some of the provisions are not workable. I'm saying, we said these things to them.
Your team voted for the piece of legislation that was peer-reviewed internally within the Bahamas and internationally. So I'm asking, am I wrong? I'll sit. Did your team vote for the procurement bill?
Criticized the bill, pointing out some issues with the bill, and we indicated as well that it was being rushed because it came in 1 week and we're debating it the next week.
The business of the House of Assembly has been adjourned to March 23rd at 10 a.m. Vern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Quite a hefty price tag attached to repatriation exercises so far this year. Immigration Minister, the Honorable Keith Bell, disclosed those figures as part of his contribution to the mid-year budget debate.
From January 2021 to February 2022, some 3,425 persons were deported from the Bahamas. 77% of these persons were from Haiti, 10% were from Cuba, 3% from the Dominican Republic, 3% from Jamaica, 2% from Brazil, 1% from Colombia, and the remaining 5% from other various nations. From July 2021 to the present, we have spent some $1.2 million on repatriation exercises.
Well, still on the issue of immigration, Minister Bell confirming in a statement last evening that a group of migrants rescued at sea were not from the Ukraine, but rather Georgia. A vessel, he says, was on its way to Grand Bahama from Florida when it encountered another boat that had capsized 10 miles off West End. 7 people were on board, 2 men, 3 women, and 2 children. According to Bell, the group who initially told rescuers they were from Ukraine claimed their passports had been lost at sea. They later admitted they were trying to smuggle their way into the United States. Immigration officers learned they were natives of Georgia once they showed their passports. The United Nations reports that more than 3.1 million Ukrainians have fled the country since coming under attack by Russia in late February. Well, it's been more than a decade since mailboat operators and owners have had their contract renewed. And while not delving into why this is a case, Transport Minister JoBeth Colby Davis noted during the 2021-2022 mid-year budget debate that over $8 million has been allocated for just this.
We understand that to operate a mailboat is not cheap. In fact, the annual fuel cost can be significant. However, as this service is government subsidized, the residents of the Family Islands should not have to pay exorbitant fees and suffer from inconsistent pricing. My ministry, Deputy Speaker, will seek to partner with the Department of Local Government, which falls under the Ministry of Agriculture, Marine Resources and Family Islands Affairs, and Family Island MPs, to ensure that we give Family Island residents a voice in the decision-making process with a view to improving the mailboat services.
National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, addressing some of the technological devices the former administration acquired that either had challenges or had never been used. Take, for instance, a COVID tracking application provided by a Bahamian company.
Up to the point that we took over, we had paid $86,861 on the app, out of a complete contract price of $131,000 plus. It had never been used. The contract was executed in March of 2021. In September of 2021, it had never been used. What is worse, there were no standard operating procedures. There were no meetings between health and the police and COVID enforcement even to work out how the app would be used. And we had paid close to $90,000 for it, an app that was supposed to help us keep safe.
Well, ahead of those 9 COVID deaths we reported yesterday, health officials have confirmed 4 on the March 15th dashboard. the deaths occurring between January 26th and February 19th. It's on that day that a 19-year-old succumbed to the virus, one of 3 males. The eldest victim in this group, an 86-year-old man, the deceased, all residents of New Providence. Meantime, 3 people tested positive for the COVID, again, all right here on the Capitol. We can also tell you that on the day under review, 9 people were in hospital with COVID, 2 of them on the intensive care unit. Some 168 RT-PCR tests were completed on March 15th, 3 of them repeats. Well, still to come, plans progressing for the New Providence Nassau Cruise Port, and the central bank scores an international award. More after this.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
A lot has changed over the past 60 years, but at Commonwealth Bank, our mission to build lifelong relationships with our clients remains the same. Our customers are more than just a number. Our customers are our family, and together we create banking solutions that fit your unique needs. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married? Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
What makes an icon? Is it 80 years in the business? Or inventing a recipe that changes the way we enjoy chicken around the world? No. What makes an icon are the fans. Order KFC and take home a true mealtime icon.
Every journey starts with the first step, and mine starts here. I believed in Tokyo, the belief that I could be, we could be the best. We are drenched in Bahamian pride, no matter where we go. In 5 years, Alive built the Bahamas' best network, delivering faster speeds and stronger connections to all 700 islands and keys. Alive believed that every Bahamian deserved a world-class network and excellent customer service. I am proud to be Director of Speed and Connection.
Is total class. Look at her go. What a win.
As we continue to improve our lightning-fast, world-class network and connect with art, culture, and the world around us, never stop dreaming and never stop believing.
We believe in relationship banking. We take pride in getting to know our client. You have access to knowledgeable, approachable ambassadors and financial coaches so that we can recommend the best product for you. At Fidelity, we care about you. From your financial health to your physical health, we can relate to you because we're just like you. Come and start your relationship banking experience with us today. Visit us online at fidelitygroup.com. Visit any of our branches in Nassau or Grand Bahama, or phone 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 for Freeport.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited. If it's healthcare, it's here.
Well, welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Members of the Rotary Club of West Nassau are learning more about the progress of that multi-million-dollar Newport facility on Prince George Wharf that's expected to transform Nassau's city center and enhance the country's tourism product. The port CEO is even calling on Bahamians to take advantage of the new economic benefits. The new multi-million-dollar Nassau Cruise Port facility is set to open in 2023. Nassau Cruise Port CEO Mike Moore Jr. boasted that it will be transformed into one of the world's greatest waterfronts. Amenities include an event and entertainment area, retail facilities, and new food and beverage facilities. A phased opening is set for the end of the year.
There's a tremendous opportunity in our market for luxury yachts, very large yachts, 350-foot yachts. Their challenge is berths. And so a lot of them keep going south, but if they have the berth in which to moor the ship, their vessel, they will come to Nassau. Over the last couple of days, we've actually had 3 along the south side here. And as you can see, we have 1 there, and we move them around when we don't have a cruise ship. So this was a big investment for us here.
Some $100 million in marine work has already been completed to ensure Nassau can receive even larger cruise ships. There's also a newly constructed area for water taxis. With its rosy predictions and the cruise industry's rebound, the port executive is now advising Bay Street business operators to begin enhancing their product offerings.
What is it about the experience that we're putting in front of our visitors that causes them to say, I want that, or that's different. That's a memory that I want to take back home. Because if we're buying everything from out of China, if we're buying everything out of the Philippines or from some other place, odds are someone else is buying those very same things, right? Whereas we have to continue to reinvest in our artisans, our art, our different, forms of product and so forth, and make it happen, because that is an avenue to, allowing us to be authentic, different, unique, and it's no one wants to go to the same restaurant every single day.
The new Nassau Cruise Port expected to welcome over 3.7 million passengers once the facility has officially opened. Nominations are now open for national honors. The awards recognizes persons who have achieved excellence while contributing to national development. The honors comprise the Orders of National Hero, Nation, the Bahamas, Excellence, Distinction, and Merit, Distinguished Service and Bravery medals, as well as badges of honor for persons who have achieved excellence in the public service or civil society will also be awarded. Nomination forms may be obtained from the Cabinet Office in New Providence, Family Island Administrative Offices, or log on to www.bahamas.gov.bs. Deadline for nominations is April 8th. The national honors will be announced by the Governor General this Independence Day, July 10th. While government planning an active itinerary for next week's official visit of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge to the Bahamas, with tours set for here, New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Abaco, reporters asked the Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister of the Office of the Governor General, Jack Thompson, yesterday, who will be footing the bill.
It is customary for the host country to absorb the cost, accommodations, meals for the couple and the staff. So that is the standard. I thank you for your question. I appreciate your question.
The Central Bank of the Bahamas has been awarded the prestigious Regional Banknote of the Year Best New Series Award for its crisp Evolution family of banknotes, the honor given by Reconnaissance International earlier this week. Through this Best New Series Award, the Central Bank joins regional peers in the Eastern Caribbean, Costa Rica, and Bolivia. In accepting the award, Deputy Central Bank Governor Derek Roll touted how the crisp Evolution family of banknotes represents more than 9 years of work from central bank industry professionals. The public can expect future adaptations to these banknotes to further enhance security and durability and refine designs over time. Meantime, Scotiabank Bahamas launches a new fund for small and medium-sized businesses impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Partnerships, sole proprietors, incorporated companies in operation for 3 years with good credit history, less than 500 employees, and an annual turnover of up to $4 million can apply. Successful applicants can receive between $10,000 to $125,000. Eligible small and medium businesses can also access loans through a $5 million recovery fund at a special 7% rate until May 31st. These applicants can receive up to 3 months moratorium on principal payments and a full application fee waiver. Scotiabank also invites small and medium enterprises to participate in its month-long Go Digital campaign that offers insights on how to implement digital solutions to improve their operations.
And remember to tune in to the Morning Edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30 and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
From the time we open, we create moments of joy for everyone we serve. We use every encounter to show how we are different. Stop in and enjoy our freshly prepared breakfast on the go for your family. Or even having your favorite food delivered where you can easily connect with your friends. Our commitment is serving you quality food from our restaurant. Go ahead and dip your French fries in your frosting. Cheers to better days ahead. That's what makes Wendy's different on the inside and out.
What would I like people to know about women in leadership is that women being in leadership does not deny an opportunity to a man to be in leadership. We can all be in leadership together. And in fact, leadership makes its most effective decisions when it's getting those different viewpoints from all segments of society. My advice would be to young women to never rest on your laurels. Always be thinking about what is the next thing that you can do or need to learn.
Sink your teeth into your favorite Bahamian delicacies at Dune's Brunch at the Four Seasons Resort Ocean Club.
Our brunch here at Dune, it's not just the amazing offer with live music, unlimited mimosas, and a variety of food that you can't get anywhere else on the island. We have Island Classic with a Dune twist. So we have everything from boiled fish. We have an omelette station where you can really create your own omelette, chicken and waffles. We have a whole barbecue setup with lobster tails. We have lamb chops, chicken, not to forget our ever-changing dessert station of our chef Philip, which really has everything for everyone. So we do still do temperature checks at the arrival, as well as verification of vaccination cards or COVID negative tests. We have on-site testing, and our staff gets tested every week. It is from 12 to 3 p.m. every Sunday. It is Nassau's finest brunch. I can verify that. And it is just an experience. You can sit back, relax, amazing service, and just have fun while you're here with the music and the food and the offer that we have.
For more information on how you can make a reservation for dining at Dune, visit fourseasons.com/Ocean Club. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better. When you testify in court, you're expected to tell the truth. Same goes for your insurance application form. You have to answer every question truthfully and provide all the information requested, or you could be found guilty of misrepresentation. That means your insurance company could deny your policy or refuse to pay your claim. Your insurance company relies on the information you provide to determine whether to issue you a policy. Leaving out just one piece of information could lead to misrepresentation. So read your application form carefully. If you're unsure about anything, ask your insurance agent or broker before completing and signing your insurance application form. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, protecting the interests of policyholders.
Noted scholar and playwright Dr. Ian Strawn has been appointed the University of the Bahamas' new executive vice president. Dr. Strawn, who will still retain his position as head of UB's Northern Campus in Freeport, Grand Bahama, says he's happy to serve the university in a higher capacity.
And I am happy to serve my country as executive vice president of the University of the Bahamas. Most of all, I am grateful for the expressed commitment of the board to the vision we have articulated for UB North. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration that will be to the lasting benefit of Grand Bahama, the North, and indeed all the Bahamas. I thank you.
Now, Dr. Strawn's appointment comes on the heels of criticism over the appointment of foreigner Eric Rowland as a new president of UB. When asked if Dr. Strawn's appointment was to appease the public, Chair of UB's board, Allison Maynard Gibson, QC, had this response.
I say to those people that we are proud that Dr. Strawn is stepping up to the plate as Executive Vice President, a position that is in the Act, the University of the Bahamas Act, and he has agreed to stay on as President of UB North. If you would have heard Dr. Strawn's vision for UB North, we know that for that STEM campus to come on board the way that he envisages it, with the support of the Board of Trustees, that energy is needed there for Grand Bahama, for UB North, for the University of the Bahamas, and for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
We met her at Xavier's Lewis School while in the fight for her life, and now Zion Knowles is getting ready to sit the BJC national examinations next year. Well, LaDawn Davis caught up with this walking miracle to find out what she's been up to in this week's Student of the Week.
Everything's gone really, really well. I really like it at SOC.
That's 14-year-old leukemia survivor Zion Knowles speaking candidly about her academic journey now at St. Augustine's College. The 8th grader, who's excited to return to face-to-face instruction, says she is cancer-free, but unfortunately encountered yet another health challenge nearly 2 years ago.
With type 1 diabetes, I am not able to take the pills. And so I have to take insulin 4 times a day. One before breakfast, one before lunch, one before dinner, and one after dinner. It's much easier than battling leukemia because with leukemia you have to you barely get to move around and you can't really do that much stuff that you would normally like to do. But with diabetes, it's really just managing what you eat. And I've had diabetes before when I was going through the chemo, so it's really not that new to me. And like I said, I'm dealing with it greatly so far.
With COVID-19 still looming, Zion postponed many of her social outreach initiatives. However, she says she will not allow this deadly virus to deter her from her future career goals.
In grade 9, I'm hoping to be able to study the sciences, chemistry, and biology. because when I grow up, I want to be a marine biologist. So in order to do that, I'd have to take those 2 classes anyway. But I'm interested in a lot of the clubs, especially the gaming clubs. I chose to be a marine biologist because in all the years that humans have lived on Earth, we know more about space than we do of our own ocean. And there's only like 5% of it discovered, and we don't really have that much marine biologists in the world, and I feel like we need more marine biologists because we need to discover more of what's in our oceans.
LaDawn Davis with the Student of the Week. Where are they now?
Former Prime Minister and former Free National Movement leader, the Right Honorable Hubert Ingraham, presenting his first book to Party Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands and former Prime Minister and former leader, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, at the party's Mackey Street headquarters yesterday. Titled, I Say What I Mean and I Mean What I Say, the book features a compilation of speeches delivered by the former Prime Minister and party leader while in office. Teresa Butler and Patricia McCullis collaborated on the book.
The idea here is to provide a useful reference for journalists, for students, for historians, for people who want to be able to look at political development in the Bahamas. And because I had this unique opportunity to work with Mr. Ingraham beginning in 1992 and continuing to today, I thought it would be useful if I put together his speeches.
It took a lot of courage to make some of the decisions to further certain legislation or give rise to certain legislation that has changed the whole face of the Bahamas.
Well, a few hours later, Mr. Ingraham presented a copy of his book to his colleague, former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, at his Cable Beach residence. Christie reminisced of Ingram's legacy and believes Bahamians far and wide can be inspired by his humble beginnings.
Was a poor young fella from Cooperstown who never had the opportunity that some of us had to go abroad for an education. He, Sean McQueenie, Brave Davis, but they distinguished themselves by sitting at the table with the most educated in our region.
There's no greater pleasure I could have than to present you with a copy of this book. I look forward to present you with other copies and to you continue to lead a healthy and productive life.
Now to news from the crime beat. Another night, another murder, and now 2 men are dead and one woman left fighting for her life in hospital following an overnight shooting at a West End Avenue and Market Street home. Police Press Liaison Officer Superintendent Audley Peters updating the media on what unfolded at the time, sharing that due to CCTV, police are encouraged by the investigation.
They located an adult male who was lying face down with several wounds consistent with gunshot about his body. Emergency medical services was summoned to the scene. The technicians examined the body, and upon completion, they pronounced that male lifeless. In this instance, the initial investigations revealed that a group of persons were gathered at an abandoned building on the junction of Market Street and Western Avenue when a small white vehicle approached. 2 males exited that vehicle and discharged their weapons on the group.
The Progressive Liberal Party has lost one of its most staunch supporters, stalwart councillor George Livingston Winky Pinder. A memorial service held today at the party's Farrington Road headquarters for the Hatchet Bay Lutheran native who died March 6. He was 72. Pinder, described as a loyal and dedicated political warrior, distinguished gentleman, and trusted friend by all who knew him.
He was one of those who will fight for the PLP. I wish we had more persons like that who could understand it's about the party, it's about good governance, and ensuring that things are better for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
I would describe him as a strong supporter of the party. I would describe him as a resolute man. I would describe him as a nationalist. He understood the journey of this country. He understood majority rule. He understood Burma Road. He lived those things. And so he had such a passion for governance and a love for people. I would describe him as a national treasure.
He is a giant man for the PLP. This ain't nothing what I think or whatsoever. This is the man that ever had the PLP back.
Now, Pinda's service will take place tomorrow at Rose Memorial Methodist Church, Montrose Avenue.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
My name is Alicia Poitea, and I've been using the Molfix brand for almost 10 years now. What I love about the Molfix brand is that it is of great quality, and I currently use it on my 2-year-old and my 5-month-old. I haven't had any issues with irritability or rashes or anything of that sort. What I love most about the Molfix brand is that I get value for money, and that to me is awesome.
Make your company representative stand out through an embroidery design on your uniforms from Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Janae's utilizes the latest state-of-the-art embroidery technology to monogram large and small quantities of shirts, caps, bags, and other articles. If you don't already have a digitized logo, Janae's can design and digitize your idea and bring it to life. Then install the logo of your choice from their large selections of 27 stock colors of golf shirts in cotton or dry fit, caps, or workwear. Call 394-8385 or 6 or visit www.janaes.com.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Hungry and looking for something so satisfying? Something to truly tantalize your taste buds? Then make it Charlie's, the home of the #1 cheesesteak in the world. Also serving up a variety of delicious wings, freshly cooked to order under 10 minutes. With 2 locations to serve you. Mall at Marathon, open from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. And the East-West Highway, next to Solomon's, from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. That's Charlie's, the home of the #1 cheesesteak in the world. 393-3100.
Prime Minister on the island of Abaco today for the opening of the Anglefish Creek Bridge. The bridge, damaged during Hurricane Dorian, connects Great and Little Abaco. A temporary structure was built in the interim. Part of the Prime Minister's delegation, former Prime Ministers, the Right Honorable Perry Christie and the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram. We'll have more details in tomorrow's newscast. Meantime, Governor General, His Excellency, the Most Honorable Sir Cornelius Smith, spent yesterday in Exuma on his itinerary visiting schools in the western part of the island. That's Rollville, Rocas Point, Forest, and Stort Manor primary schools. He was happy to speak with teachers and students on their current progress for the term. The Governor General was also honored with a special school assembly at the Regatta Park in Georgetown under the theme Schools of Excellence. Musical and word presentations were delivered by students of St. Andrews, Williamstown, Georgetown, Moosetown, and Mount Thompson primary schools and the School for Exceptional Learners. Time now for a check on today's forecast. Family Island weather temperatures, to be exact. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us live. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Desmond. We're under mostly clear skies with a temperature of 79 degrees, a relative humidity at 78%, southeast winds at 10 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,017.8 millibars, that's 30.08 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 79 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Tool, Key, Marshall, Barbacoa at 80 degrees in the Berry Islands. They have a temperature there of 80 degrees as well. Isle Sound, Bimini, 79 degrees. 79 also in Harbor Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 80, 79 in Black Point, Exuma, and Camp Space, South Andros. Freshwick in Central Andros, 80 degrees. 80 also in Otterstown, Cadalum. San Salvador, Rumkey and Georgetown, Exuma, Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, Crooked Island at 81, Betsy Bay, Miguana 80, Acklands 80 degrees, the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80, and Matsutown, Inagua, the warm spot this evening at 82 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter in the Northwestern Islands. Tonight through Saturday, southeast winds at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights, they're going to be around 2 to 4 feet. High tide takes place at 8:22 this evening. You can expect a second high tide at 9:21 tomorrow morning. For the central and southeastern islands through Saturday, southeast winds 12 to 18 knots, wave height 3 to 6 feet with that moderate chop remaining in place, so caution flags are up for boaters in the central and southeastern islands through Saturday. And then on Sunday in the northwestern islands, the winds become southeast to south ahead of a weak frontal system, which is heading our way. Speeds around 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide will take place at 10:02 on Sunday morning. Low tide at 4:14 in the afternoon. In the central and southeastern islands, no change there. The winds remain southeast at 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights 3 to 6 feet with caution flags in place. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Where you been, y'all? I've been looking for you. Looking for you. But hey, y'all, where you been, y'all? I've been looking for you. I've been chilling out by the bar last night. This y'all, she was looking nice. She blew my mind. Right on the side. I started to order drinks on night.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Live alone, jump in my ride and come with me.
So when you look at the complement of women that we have across the business today, they're in the commercial field, they're in the IT field, the technology field. We've been very strategic and that women had a place not only at the table, but also that different views and not just one voice is being heard to ensure that we're providing innovative and creative solutions to our customers to enable their lifestyle to be even more seamless as we go forward.
Saving money is easy this week. Just shop the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Riceland long grain or parboiled rice, 5 pounds, $3.75. Best Value whole kernel corn, 15 ounce, 2 for $2.19. Mott's apple juice, 1 gallon, $6.99. Sweet mangoes, 2 for $3. Bone-in chicken breasts, $1.99 per pound. Don't beat me there, beat me there. Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
For as long as we've been a country, these islands have been a favorite for royalty. And for as long as the royals have adored us as a people, we've always been hospitable and gracious hosts. From a colony to a nation, now on the cusp of its golden anniversary, these shores have celebrated royal visits with class and dignity that is wholly Bahamian. As Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth celebrates her platinum anniversary on the throne, the islands of the Bahamas welcomes the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge on this, their first visit to the country. Our coverage starts Thursday, March 24th at 4 p.m. and continues through their departure Saturday, March 26th. The ZNS Network, your home for the royal visit. William and Kate.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your final look at sports. I'm Charles Fisher. The World Indoor Track and Field Championships getting underway this morning in Belgrade. First of the blocks for the Bahamas was Anthony Strawn in Heat 4 of the 60-meter dash, right there in the middle of the track, where she would cross the line third in a time of 7.22 seconds, the 14th fastest time heading into the semifinals. Up next, Shawnee Miller-Uibo then went in the 400-meter heats.
These championships go constant. The entries came out. I think a lot of us were very surprised to see the name of Shawnee Miller-Uibo on the stars indoors. She's not a regular indoors. She's got leg two. She's got all on, even in the heat here. And she's gone tearing through the first 150 metres to get herself into a box seat to dictate the rest of the race. On it's Miller-Uibo, judged by the first of Morris Fighter and Sergio Ford position with Tirich.
She comes through crossing in a time of 51.74 seconds, and that's the second fastest of the qualifiers and also a lane in the semifinals. Anthony now in the semifinals of the 60-meter dash. Lane number 7, the top two will advance to the finals, but this one a pretty too quick for Anthony. She would finish 5th in a time of 7.13 seconds. Let's now go to the 400-meter semifinals. Shawnee Miller-Uibo in heat number 2.
Clean start and a big roar from the crowd. How we've missed audience participation. Miller-Uibo already up on Phil Healy. Claver is giving chase, but even her lightning fast first 200 metres is not enough to get on terms with Miller-Uibo, who has a gap of around 4 or 5 metres. Claver second, Sweetie Ersitic in third, Phil Healy in fourth, just alongside the Lithuanian. Miller-Uibo now just beginning to ease back a fraction. Claver dragging Sweetie Ersitic back towards the Bahamian. Now she begins to pull away for the finish once more. This looks a very, very, very good piece of qualification from Miller-Uibo. Sweetie Ersitic coming through for second. Claver takes the third spot.
Shawnee would come around to win in 51.38 seconds, lowering her time from early in the day. That's also a season's best for her. And the third fastest of the qualifiers, she will be in lane number 6 come Saturday in the finals. Well, coming up on Saturday, the indoor world points leader in the 60-meter hurls, Devon Charlton, in Heat 5, lane number 6. The first 3 of the 6 heats automatically moves on, along with the next 6 fastest qualifiers. The semifinals and finals is also on for Saturday. Then wrapping things up on Sunday will be Donald Thomas in the high jump finals. Member of Parliament for Bain and Grantstown, Wade Watson, announcing in the House of Assembly on Thursday some good news for that area.
The Bain and Grantstown Sports Committee has been launched. Formal plans are well on the way for the inaugural Bain and Grantstown Summer Games, which are expected to be held commencing the 21st of June, 2022. Our basketball skills development program has also commenced. Our kids between the ages of 5 and 12 are taught the game of basketball every Saturday on parks in Bain and Grantstown from 10 a.m. to 12 noon.
The University of the Bahamas track and field team heading to the University of Central Florida Black and Gold meet this weekend in Orlando, Florida, with more than 25 colleges and universities expected to take part. This is the first international meet for the team, participating since the pandemic shut down competition in March of 2020. Head coach Edna Rose says the team is fired up to hit international collegiate competition.
The team is motivated. After 2 years of this pandemic and not being able to compete internationally, it has been a tough and a challenging one for me to keep these athletes motivated, to maintain their grades. You know, we were able to do some of the local meets in the Bahamas, but it's nothing like that feeling to be competing at the collegiate level. So they're motivated, they're excited, and I think we will fare well this time around. I have high expectations for this team. I'm looking for some personal bests. Leading up to this time, 90% of the team seem to be in a good position to run their personal best times or jump their personal best distance. So I'm looking for some good results from this meet.
And more from the University of the Bahamas Athletics men's basketball team with a recruitment drive recently, looking for some specific qualities in this recruit cycle. Head coach Barker's Role says he's sure there's talent in the North.
We're looking for some size. We're trying to find some big players. You know, you can't teach size. And you can teach everything else, but you can't teach size. So players 6'4", 6'5", and players that love the game. Of course, you know, Grand Bahama is known for his guard play. Very good guard play, very aggressive guards. And so we'll take those as well. But we just want real good, committed basketball players.
And that's going to put a wrap on Sports Friday. I'm Charles Fisher. Thanks for watching.
Let's start the morning off right. The morning edition is live.
The Dawn can't cook.
That's what he thinks, guys.
Start your day with the Morning Edition. Weekdays at 7 a.m. right here on the ZNS Network.
The ZNS community page now has its own home on Channel 230. Be sure to tune into this channel to see informative notices, funeral announcements, birthday greetings, and much, much more. So watch the ZNS community channel today on Cable 230.
Battling for Bay is a joke compared to battling colon cancer.
You want to protect your quarterback? You need to protect your body.
The same way we declare that we will be victorious on Bay Street, it's the same way you will declare that you will be victorious over colon cancer.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer affecting Bahamians. Both men and women are affected equally. Fortunately, colon cancer can be prevented by scheduling routine visits with your doctor, by being aware of the symptoms, and by having some form of colon cancer screening when appropriate. If you're over the age of 45, talk to your doctor about having a colonoscopy today so that you can avoid a conversation about colon cancer tomorrow.
One of the best races.
Look at that pole, all the energy that he puts in it.
He may have decided that this is his time. My word. And not only does he end on a good note, he ends on an absolute monster. Sensational, what a way.
Accidents and emergencies are not scheduled life events. When they occur, people are usually caught off guard. It is important during these times, however, to bring certain items with you when you or your relative present to the Accident and Emergency Department. The following items will assist healthcare providers with your specific case. Identification, photo ID for registration purposes. Examples include your driver's license, national insurance card, or passport. If you were admitted to hospital prior to your emergency, discharge summary or most recent discharge letter with relevant information regarding prior diagnoses and treatment. A referral letter from the healthcare provider who would have sent you to the emergency department. All your medications and pills prescribed, herbal, or any over-the-counter medication is required. Have a list of all allergies, insurance card when necessary, emergency contact information, an interpreter for foreign nationals when necessary. Bring comfort items, change of clothing, books, iPads, blankets. Bring a list of questions for the medical providers. And of course, bring patience. Having these items on hand can help to minimize anxiety and frustration during your A&E visit. Remember, the best person to manage your health is you.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, satellite pictures are showing a prefrontal trough extending just to the north and east of the Bahamas, and that will continue to drift towards the south and east very slowly. Frontal boundary right across the Georgia area, and that will sink southeastward over the next couple of days. We expect it to move into the northwest Bahamas sometime on Sunday night, and that will bring with it hopefully some showers, but slight change in temperatures can be anticipated with this weak frontal system. Tonight, we are going in for clear to partly cloudy conditions, a bit on the humid side as those winds will be out of the southeast to south. 74 degrees for your low temperature, and tomorrow we're looking at partly sunny and still very humid. 83 degrees for your high temperature. The extended weather forecast over the next several days, despite the arrival of that frontal system, which will come through late Sunday night, early Monday morning, could trigger some morning showers on Monday, but thereafter things will clear up. We're looking at partly sunny for most of next week. Temperatures, they're going to remain in the low 80s during the daytime. No appreciable change in those nighttime temperatures. They will stay into the low 70s. Desmond.
Thank you very much, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you so much for continuing to make ZNS News your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thank you so much for watching. Have a good night. Stay safe.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.